Okay.
Welcome everyone to Be Money Coaching's class today on micro investing. We have Deb with us today again, which is such a treat. I'm going to guide us through this topic, which I think is really kind of an exciting way to imagine for those of us, myself, I will speak for myself, who find investing a little intimidating to say the least. So I'm really grateful, Deb, that you're here to guide us in this. Thank you all for being here. And we will have questions and answers at the end. So hold those thoughts, write them down, put them in the chat, and I'm looking forward to learning with all of you. So thank you to our wonderful financial coach here, Deb. Take
Thank
it
you.
away. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here with this particular uh, topic, which is can be intimidating for a lot of people. I just saw a comment in a question. This isn't the same as the last month. Last month was on micro saving. This one is on micro investing. And I just lost my screen. Oh, here it is. Okay. You're welcome, Holly. Okay. So can you, I'm going to stop the screen share for a second because um, I just lost I lost my,
Like your view where you can see
I lost
both.
my view. Oh, there, because my face is in the way and trying to move myself,
Yep.
trying to move myself out of the way here. Okay.
Yes.
All right, so I can see my notes. So, my name is Deb, and I am a money coach. I'm just a little bit about me. I'm a mom of 4 kids. I am a Gen Xer who got started late on her money journey. I'm a caregiver to my mother and to my sister. I
Deb, I'm going to interrupt you. We can see your notes too.
Oh, you can see my notes too. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
that's okay. I'm glad let's stop the share here. I don't know what's happening here. I'm trying to do the presenter view. I keep getting these glitches, and that's what's worrying me okay, can you see the notes now?
No, but we can't see your landing page either. Maybe if you
S-
um, don't, sometimes it helps to turn your camera off of your face, and it allows you to have more
Okay.
bandwidth. I don't know.
Except that I can't find you like turn my video off.
Yeah,
Why am I having such a hard time with this now? Okay, so I'm
there
going
you
to
go.
turn
So,
myself
okay,
off.
so now we see your
But
name. Okay.
okay, so now we're going to do the screen share
Yeah.
of my it's got like 2 screens up on here and I don't know why. Um,
So this is good. So we're getting closer. I see your first slide, but it's not in presenter view yet. So keep playing with it.
it keeps popping up asking me if I want to do X
Like
thing
a
here. So,
audience window.
okay.
Hmm.
So what do you see my landing page here?
I do, but it has like a little it's doing we can see that it says audience window and enter full screen mode. It's showing us also what it's probably showing you on the screen.
Why is this? Okay.
If you
So if I,
click full screen mode, I don't know if it takes away your notes.
it does, and that's what
Mhm.
I need. I don't know why is this happening again? God. Okay, hold
Take
on.
your
I'm gonna
time. Take
just
your time. It's all right.
get out of this thing. Hold on. Okay, so I'm gonna stop the sharing
Okay,
for a second here.
no problem.
And then I'm going to put this thing in presenter view. I think I had to put it in presenter view before I put it in. Okay. But see, I can't see myself and I can't see my screen.
Okay, yeah, that's not friendly for you. So,
Hold
let's
on.
see.
And it's got like 3 screens up here that I don't want it to have. I think I'm just going to end up having to, okay, now it says I'm screen sharing. Can you see the landing page?
We can see the landing page and but it still has that it says audience window. This window is what your audience sees. Drag it to your audience, drag it to the screen your audience will be looking at and enter full screen mode.
That's what
Oh,
you see?
now we see it. Now we see full screen landing page.
Okay. Do you see my notes?
Now, nope, we don't see our notes.
Okay. We're gonna leave it here.
Okay.
Jesus, sorry.
Go
Okay.
team. Thanks everybody. No, it just is part of this is part of the process. Okay, go for it.
All
Go
right.
back where you were. Really
So
good
here
job.
I left off where I am neurodivergent, have a diagnosis, and this is what helped me understand why I had money challenges in the past. And I've tried to use that knowledge now to build my my retirement, my investment, and my savings. I am a Latina money coach. I'm bilingual, and I use my experience as a Latina, as an immigrant, to inform people about how our personal experiences um, inform how we deal with sensitive topics like money. I love coffee and rainy days, so today is like one of my favorite kinds of days, and I am currently reading My Invented Country by Isabel Allende. All right, so what is microinvesting? So microinvesting is the process of investing tiny amounts of money in the stock market with as little as $1. A lot of people have this impression that they have to have a lot of money to start investing in the stock market, and that just isn't true. It's a huge step to take to plan ahead and build financial security. You're going to hear me talk about building a habit because basically that's what this is. It starts small and then you can increment as you learn more and become more confident. Um, this will also motivate you to begin the process. So what also counts as microinvesting is reinvesting dividends. So if you invest in a stock or a fund that pays dividends, which is money paid by the company to people who have these shares, then you can have those reinvested. And they're small amounts, especially at the beginning. But as your investments grow, those dividends become a little bit larger. And if you have them reinvested, they get reinvested into that same stock or into that same portfolio, and you're still buying more of that share, which helps it grow. The same thing is by earning compound returns. It's like interest. The more it grows, the more that money grows on top of the money that's growing for you. And those are little bits and pieces that together with the money that you are investing helps your money grow. Okay, so the micro investing is a great way to get started because you can open an account using an app or a platform that allows you to start with tiny amounts and build your way up. You also don't have to have a lot of money, like I said just a little bit ago, and it also helps you build confidence in the stock market because you're not taking thousands of dollars and throwing them at Microsoft and saying, "Okay, I hope this grows," and but I may not be able to sleep at night because it's a lot of money. With micro investing, you start with tiny amounts and then you watch how your money grows. Or how sometimes, depending on what the stock market does, you may see your value go down. But if you are patient and allow time to do its thing, these things can grow over time. And it's easy. It's super, super easy. You find a platform after doing some research. You want to find a brokerage firm or an app that will allow you to just open an account in less than 20 minutes. You connect your funding account to that brokerage account or to the app so that you have money going in on a consistent basis from your funding account. So that would be like your checking account or a savings account. And then you buy your securities. You buy a stock or you buy an index fund or you explore and see more, you might want to get into bonds or into crypto. So there are lots of accounts that can hold micro investments. The typical ones are your workplace account, your traditional or Roth IRAs, a brokerage account, or an ABLE account. So the workplace account, you can start as, unless your employer has like has mandated, you have to have like a minimum that you need to start. Um, you can use that as your starting point. But a Roth IRA or a traditional IRA is also a really great, it offers you more flexibility than what your workplace account is going to offer. And a lot of those places a lot of the brokerage firms that hold or that offer IRAs are a great place to start micro investing because you get to choose how much to invest and where you want to put that money. The same with a brokerage account. The difference between the IRAs and the brokerage account is that the brokerage account, no matter what kind you get, it's going to be taxable with whatever you gain, whatever interest or whatever compound return is going to be taxable. And then you have your ABLE accounts, which are a whole other thing that has more to do with having a documented disability. And also there are limits and there are rules, IRS rules regarding ABLE accounts. Um, and that's completely different from the other accounts. Like with a workplace account and an IRA, you have to have earned income. With a brokerage account or an ABLE account, you don't have to have earned income. But these are just like, you know, places to get you started thinking about where you can put the money once you start investing. All right, so how to get started investing with $1. So you can open a brokerage account at a brokerage firm. So there's Fidelity, Schwab, E-Trade, Edward Jones, Vanguard. But I chose these two because these are two that I am familiar with personally. They're examples of two discount brokerage firms where you can open an account, like a brokerage account or an IRA, with just $1. You don't have to have, like I said, a ton of money to put into those accounts. I can't tell you where to open an account, but this is just like a place to get you started so that you can start doing research and looking at their videos and their resources and the information. It's pretty user friendly, to just kind of get started thinking about the where you want your money to live once you start this process. Another option are fintech apps. So these four companies, these are like the four like most popular companies that allow you to open your account with some with as little as $1, others with like a minimum of $5. And they have pretty decent learning platforms. My only caution with these platforms is that you really have to read the fine print about the fees. One of the things I know about Acorns, and the reason I know this is because I have a friend who wanted to open an account, and so we were looking into it, is that no matter how much money you have in that account, the minimum you're going to pay monthly for a maintenance fee is $3, and that's in addition to any other fees. So with these kinds of accounts or with the brokerage accounts here, you always want to see if there are any maintenance fees, any fees to buy a security or to sell a security or to transfer any money back and forth. You always want to look at any fees. One of the things that people do like about Acorns is that they give you like a debit card or they connect to um your funding account. Like let's say you have a debit card for a checking account. You stick that in the Acorns app or you use the Acorn debit card. And every time you make a purchase, the Acorns will round up to the next dollar. So like let's say you buy something on Amazon for 10.50. They'll round up 50 cents to $11 and they'll take that 50 cents and they will put it into an investment account for you. You choose the investment account, but they will do that for you. Unfortunately, they charge $3 a month. So if you're not going to be if you're not going to be making a lot of purchases, or if you're not going to be um, using that particular account, in a year, you'll be paying $36 just in a fee to have them do that for you. So one way to get started with microinvesting before you start thinking of all these different, do I want to buy stocks, bonds, funds? What is all that? You want to state your goal. What is your goal? Is your goal to have something for retirement? Is your goal to buy a house in 10 years or in 15 years? Um, what is your goal? Write it down and put it somewhere where you're going to see it every day as a reminder that this is why you're doing the thing that you're doing. Then talk to somebody about this goal and set up an accountability partner. This is really important with whatever kind of financial goal you have. If you want to save for a down payment on a car, or you want to save for a down payment on X thing, sometimes it's easier to have an accountability partner because that person can hold you accountable. They're going to be like, so how's it going with your savings goals this month? The same thing can be said of investing. If you tell somebody that you want to save 100 or you want to invest $100 by December, you tell this person and that person can check in to say, hey, how did it go this month? Did you make that transfer? Are you following up on your investment? It's really helpful to have somebody do that because it helps reinforce the habit that you're trying to develop. And then another thing to think about is do you need to protect public benefits? If you receive SSI or Medicaid, um, that anything that you put into savings or in an investment account cannot is not necessarily going to be is not going to protect you from losing those benefits. So you need to think about where to put that money, or you need to think about how you're going to control how much money you have in those accounts and any other accounts in order to protect those public benefits. That's where the ABLE account comes in useful because in the you can invest through an ABLE account and the money is protected up to $100,000. It's not going to count toward your SSI or Medicaid benefit. All right. So you've decided that you want to do this. You've set up an accountability partner. Now you need to figure out how much you're going to start investing with. Do you want to start investing with $1? Do you want to start with $5? What is it that you want to start with? Write it down. Write it down and then decide where you want to be by a stated deadline. If you want to have a deadline of $100 invested by December 31st of this year, write it down and put it where you're going to see it. And then decide how much you're going to invest weekly or monthly and write it down. By having something in front of you, and I've noticed this for me especially, that by having something in front of me, it's a constant reminder that not only do I have to make a transfer, or not only do I have to write down that the transfer is going to happen, but it also keeps me in check and makes me see where my goal is, see how far I've come, see how much more I need to go. And so having a visual for me is really important. And then once you have decided and you've written down how much you're going to invest for 2 months, you want to increase that to say $5 in 3 months. And again, write it down because the idea is to not only hold yourself accountable and to build this habit, but it's also to slowly build up your contribution so that your account grows. So here's an example of how you can buy and own Microsoft for $5. So when I initially created this graphic, Microsoft was at like 427. That was in January, and it's gone down. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's at 399.95 as of yesterday closing. So it's $400 for one share of Microsoft, but you don't have to have $400 to own a share of Microsoft. You can own a fractional share or a slice of Microsoft for $5. And if you really love Microsoft and you really want to own more, then you can set up an account where you're just buying Microsoft stock. If you're into tech stocks, then you want to find a fund or something that is tech heavy and put your, $5 a month or whatever into that account so that you can say, "Oh, I own a bit of Google, I own a bit of Meta, I own a bit of Microsoft." And then This is a really, I couldn't get this to be any, I couldn't get this bigger, and I hope you can see it. So I'm just going to read through it. This is a screenshot from investor.gov, which has a lot of resources for people to, kind of get into investing. And they have this calculator, and I input $5. So the initial investment I put here was for $5. Monthly contribution, $20. Length of time in years is 1. So I was like, okay, I'm going to start with $5. I'm going to contribute $20 monthly to this account. I'm going to do it for a year or for 12 months. And then I put for the estimated interest rate, I put 6 because that after taking into account inflation, that would probably be about the return you would get from a stock market investment. And then they wanted a variance range, and I put 5. So I'm keeping it between like 5 and 6%. And then after a year of investing $20 a month at about 5 to 6% interest, your result is that in 1 year you'll have $252.63. And that's just looking at the interest rate and taking into account the interest rate. That's not taking into account any possible dividends. So this is a very conservative view, but this just kind of gives you an idea of where you would be if you were to micro invest over a period of a year. So then the question becomes, do you want to use an app to invest, or do you want to use a traditional brokerage? That honestly is just personal preference. Do you want to have something in your phone that you can use? Do you want to kind of gamify investing? Then an app might be an option. If you just want to like do a set it and forget it type of thing where you're just like, doing the same amount every month for 3 or 4 months, then a traditional brokerage is fine also. Apps will give you easy access, and they do have a lot of learning tools that you can do from your phone. I don't know about an iPad or like another device, but I know that like I have the Fidelity app on my phone, and it's really easy for me to just kind of play around with it and to watch videos and just kind of learn about certain certain things that I want to learn about. Um, but the idea behind the apps and the people who created them was they wanted to make it easy for people to get into investing and to invest small amounts and to make it kind of fun. They offer easy access, but if you are like me and you have issues with impulse control, then that could be a little bit problematic to have the apps because they make it really, really easy. It's just like you just push a button and then push another button, and then there you go. You've bought, $5 worth of Microsoft or Google or whatever. So that's something to think about when deciding whether you want to use like a conservative traditional brokerage firm or a fun fintech app. The other thing about the apps, like I said before with Acorns, is that they will charge, they usually charge a fee, where the traditional brokerage is either free or charges a smaller fee. Now, personally, I use Fidelity, and they don't do the sweeping that Acorns does, but I also don't have to pay $36 a year to have a brokerage account with Fidelity. Whereas with Acorn, I have to pay $36 a year, $3 a month minimum, for them to do that thing for me. And so one of the things that I recommend whenever you're looking for a bank, whenever you're looking for financial advice, is to limit your research to 2 or 3 firms, or in this case, brokerage firms, and a maximum of 2 apps. The same if you're going to look for something else that you're looking for help with in your day-to-day life. Limiting how many things you're looking at helps you prevent overwhelm, because there's so much out there, and it's really easy to just go on to NerdWallet or Investopedia and be like, oh, which is the best fintech app to start investing? They're going to come up with like 20 different apps. And for me, that's not helpful. I have to limit myself because I will just do a deep dive and then I will never come out and then I won't make a decision. For able accounts, you'll need to use a traditional brokerage account. I did look into, I saw that Schwab, Vanguard, Fidelity, and a couple others offer access to able accounts. Or you can go through your state. So like the state of Washington contracts with a company that would hold your able account for you. And so you could just do able account your state and then see what is offered through that brokerage firm or the firm that your state is contracted with and compare that to something like Vanguard or Fidelity or whatever brokerage firm, you kind of like outside of what the state is offering you. Ah, here we go. Okay. So for those who don't know, I mean, a lot of people are aware of these accounts. Um, Able accounts, I lost my little pros there, but there should be pros. Some of the pros are that the accounts are not considered assets for SSI and Medicaid up to $100,000. So you can have up to $100,000 in your ABLE account and your SSI and Medicaid will be protected. Your money grows tax-free, and when you withdraw money from that account, it won't be taxed. And then also anybody can contribute to an ABLE account. You can contribute, your employer can contribute, family, friends, anybody like that can contribute to an ABLE account. The cons are a contribution limit. It's 20,000 for 2026. Um, there are rules that govern how you can use that money, and you have to find out if your state will want the money that's left in that account after death to reimburse any Medicaid insurance that you used during your lifetime. Yep, there it is. All right, so where would you get help? So there are lots of places and lots of people out there who will offer to help you open an ABLE account, open an Acorns account, open an investment account. You can go through your bank or credit union. You can pay a certified financial planner or a licensed registered financial advisor for like a one-time fee to give you information and say, and look at what your overall financial picture is, and then go through what your goals are and help you decide where you want to put your money and how much you want it to grow. If you don't want to open an ABLE account, but you have SSI and Medicaid, then you'd have to think about how much money you have overall in assets and savings and investments, because that's going to affect any SSI or Medicaid. If you have a job and you have a workplace plan, you can usually for free, most of the time it's free, go to the plan and say, hey, I want to talk to an advisor. I want to find out, um, I just want to get some feedback about where I'm at in my investments and my savings, and I want to talk to about my goals. And they'll usually set up like a Zoom meeting, or you can go in person to talk to somebody about those goals. And they usually can do it like maybe once a month. In my experience, it's been like you could do it like a monthly thing or a quarterly thing where you meet with somebody and just kind of talk about your goals. For anything like a special needs trust or for any kind of estate planning, you want to talk to an attorney or you want to talk to a CPA. And then finally, one of the best resources out there that you may already know about is through a local organization, like the local ARC chapter of your state or county, and then talking to your case manager through your state agency to see if they can give you resources for organizations, community organizations that can help you figure out where your money should go and help you make decisions that won't have an impact on any public benefits, but that could also help your money grow, like in an able account. So there are lots of different places where you can get help. And it's just a matter of going with somebody that is going to give you unbiased advice and who's going to say up front, I can't tell you where to put your money, but based on this criteria, these are some things that you might want to think about. And then finally, the recap. So, micro investing will help you build a habit, and building that habit and watching your money grow is going to help you build confidence as you're working the stock market and as you're putting money into it. It doesn't require a large initial investment. Like we saw before in the slides, you can open an account for as little as $1 with Fidelity and Schwab. Off the top of my head, I don't know how much the initial investment would be at Vanguard for like a brokerage account or for an IRA, but that's something that can be looked up in your research. And microinvesting also helps you learn about the stock market and how it works because it forces you to say, okay, do I want to invest in one stock or do I want to invest in a collection of stocks like a mutual fund or an index fund and kind of spread that money around so that I'm reducing my risk? And then you have your ABLE accounts, which help protect your public benefits, and you can use those for savings or for investment accounts. You can open those accounts either through the agency in your state that administers the ABLE account, or you can go to Fidelity and be like, hey, I want to open an ABLE account, and can you walk me through it? Then you also want to get help from your workplace plan advisors if you have a job that offers um, like a 401k or a 403b that gives you access to people who can help you figure out where the best place is to start your micro investing journey. And then the very last thing I want to say is that investing in the stock market can be very, very intimidating. It can be really scary because you hear all these terms that I've thrown around, stocks, bonds, crypto, index funds, mutual funds, ETFs. There's a lot of information out there. And finding the person who can guide you, um, once you have your stated goal in mind is a really, really big step to take and a really important step to take so that you're not doing things um I want to say in Spanish a lo loco, like a crazy, like crazy. Like you don't want to be um you want to have a plan, you want to have a goal, you want to have it stated, and then you do want to have some flexibility in there, but you also want to have an end goal in mind so that you can work and set up steps to get there. So that's the end of the presentation, and I would love to take any questions from anybody
Excellent. I'm gonna
about
just, sorry, I was just
this.
gonna say, I'm just gonna turn off the recording and
Okay.
would love to have you do questions. Yes. Let
Okay.
me just go so people can ask maybe more personal questions and not feel concerned. Let me just stop.